Hello, my name is Jen Barato, and this is my capstone project titled The Effects of Blogging on Student Motivation to Write. It is a qualitative study to determine the influence that blogging has on a student's motivation to write and whether or not motivation to write is influenced by peer comments made to published work. I am in the Education Specialist Degree Program in Instructional Technology at Kennesaw State University. I began the program in summer of 2014 and will graduate in December of 2015. I graduated from Kennesaw State University in 2008 with a bachelor's degree in education, and then again in 2012 from Troy University with a master's degree in education. I've taught multiple different grade levels in subjects including Georgia Pre-K, Georgia Pre-K Special Ed, 5th grade, 2nd grade, and technology specials. I'm currently the technology specials teacher at Arcado Elementary in Gwinnett County Public Schools. The school houses over 1,200 students who are not only eager to learn how to infuse technology into their everyday lives, but who also enjoy using it in their classroom activities. It has been my mission to achieve this while aligning my curriculum to the content, school, and ISTE standards of technology. Almost immediately following my graduation from Troy, I knew I wanted to continue my education, but was not sure what field to direct my studies towards. When the principal of my school sent me the email in regards to KSU's Instructional Technology program, I knew it was the one for me. I knew that KSU had a great education program from attending in previous years and had high hopes that this program would follow in those footsteps, and indeed it has. Over the past 5 semesters, I have not only enhanced my ability to integrate technology into my own classroom lessons, but I have also found invaluable strategies to assist my colleagues in doing the same. As a classroom teacher, I have seen the effects of online publishing on student work and motivation in my classroom. I chose this topic because I wanted to see if there were any qualitative results that could be supported by data gathered from students involved in blogging in the classroom. In the digital age of education, blogs can be utilized as an online publishing tool for transforming two-dimensional literacy practice into a collaborative learning environment that encourages the use of peer feedback and higher-order thinking skills to improve the effectiveness of learning. Blogs can take digital format learning into the Web 2.0 world by giving the writer an audience that expands beyond the classroom walls. This practice creates students who are more engaged in their own learning, better analytical thinkers, and who take pride and ownership in their work. Blogging spans across the curriculum to include all areas of literacy, and by default, encourages the integration of other subject areas. It fits into modern-day pedagogy of learner-centered classrooms by allowing students to reflect upon their own topics or to expand upon those given by the teacher. The sense of ownership it creates in its students creates a byproduct of writers who are more aware of the mechanics of their own writing without having to focus on them, and opens up the minds of students to perspectives beyond their own. This expansion of perspective allows the students to employ higher-order thinking skills and encourages them to see the topic as a continuing subject of reflection, not one that ends when the lesson stops. One of the largest benefits of blogging is its ability to integrate the students' interest in technology and social media in the classroom. Through the use of blogging, the teacher can incorporate the student's desire for social interaction in a media platform with demands of an ever-increasing curriculum. In the digital age of the 21st century, a time when the majority of students are engaging in reading and writing through the use of social media and texting, blogging can be the bridge that unites what students love with learning, and as a byproduct, create a love of that learning. To encourage more teachers to include the practice of blogging in elementary school classrooms, further research was needed to be conducted to measure student motivation to write when engaged in online publishing in the form of blogging among elementary school age students. And as a result, I chose this for my research topic. My research questions for my study were: how is students' writing motivation influenced by publishing in an online blog? And how is students' writing motivation influenced by comments provided in published online blogs? Overview of the literature. 21st century students are cut from a different mold. The recent explosion of technology use in the classroom has many teachers reconsidering the delivery of their lessons. Students from elementary school to college are engaging in a different type of learning that is no longer two-dimensional. The differences in today's students are not just applicable to the classroom. Today, students spend a large majority of their time outside of the classroom engaged in the use of some sort of electronic device, spending as much as 7 hours a day in front of a screen. These statistics send a clear statement to educators. Students enjoy media engagement, and it's most likely not going anywhere for a long time, if ever. Media engagement is not strictly limited to screen time of television. Students are using social media platforms such as Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and many other sites to collaborate and engage with others. The questions educators have to ask themselves is how to apply this form of informal learning opportunity to formal education. How can teachers tap into a student's love of social media? Students like to engage with one another. They like the process of posting their thoughts in web format and then having them responded to by their peers. The digital age has changed the way in which students are communicating, and educators should be meeting them where they are. Some teachers have taken advantage of this by incorporating blogging into their classrooms. Blogging is a Web 2.0 learner-centered educational practice that, when utilized effectively, can be viewed as a tool for creating students who take ownership of their learning and are higher-order thinkers. The proposed methodology for this study was qualitative in nature. The method of inquiry was appropriate in assessing how students' writing motivation is influenced by online publishing in the form of blogging. According to Creswell, qualitative data are collected to develop an in-depth exploration of a central phenomena. The overall process for the study was to determine how student motivation was influenced by online publishing in a group of 5th grade elementary students, and how students' writing motivation was influenced by the comments of their peers in a published online blog. For the purpose of this study, I used focus groups, an open-ended questionnaire, and work samples to support my findings. This exploratory case study investigated the perceptions of 5th grade students in the area of writing and how online publishing influenced their motivation to do so. The results of the focus group discussions were explored and coded to build descriptions and themes, and an interpretation of the qualitative findings were made. The results of the questionnaire were analyzed and coded to build descriptions and themes, and an interpretation of the qualitative findings were made. All questionnaires, papers, and focus groups were transcribed verbatim. Although 27 papers on blogging were collected and 27 questionnaires were given, only 10 papers and 6 questionnaires were analyzed and coded. These documents were chosen through a random number generator. The procedure for data analysis involved grounded theory coding methods for qualitative research applied through the program QDA MinerLite. Each document was coded line by line and reduced to common themes related to the participants' motivation to blog. Multiple themes were created during this process. The results of this case study revealed multiple common themes in regards to how blogging and peer comments affect student motivation to write. Students were motivated by blogging due to their ability to use the computer and its word processing components, such as grammar and spell check. Students were also motivated by the fact that typing their work instead of writing it would result in a more legible paper. It should be noted that these results could be obtained through the use of a word processing software and not directly related to blogging. Blogging also affected student motivation by allowing social interaction between peers online. Students were motivated to write by blogging because they cared about what their peers thought about the writing and wanted to impress them with their ability to do so. According to student responses, students value the opinions of their peers when it comes to their writing, and the ability of students to comment on their work was a motivational factor of blogging. A third theme that developed as a result of the study was peer comments improving student work. According to the results of the discussion, questionnaires, and documents, students felt that their peers would comment on their work and provide them with feedback that would allow them to not only improve upon their work, but also fix any errors in their conventions that may arise. As I have gone through all the iTech courses, it has become quite obvious to me that research should be a best practice for all educators in order to assure that the strategies they use in their classrooms relate to best practices, current trends in education, and will result in enhanced student engagement and achievement. When teacher leaders are aware of this process, they can continue to be informed on what strategies are best suited for students and share them with their colleagues. When teachers stay current in their research of best practices, they widen their perspective of what does and does not work in the classroom, and can make more informed choices on the development, facilitation, implementation, and evaluation of those best practices. Countless hours of time were committed to the creation of this research project and capstone presentation, many of which were dedicated to researching, reading, and evaluating peer-reviewed documents on my topic. Through this process, I have learned all of the things necessary for conducting a research project and how to analyze the results in order to come with a conclusion for my findings to determine what the next step in the process is. Did my results support my initial thoughts, or do I need to go back and begin again with a new outlook on the topic? As I conclude my capstone, I realize the value of research and education and staying current in best practices. I know that the end of this program does not signal the end of my learning, and that I will continue to research best practices and current trends in technology in the future to not only be better informed myself, but to also be able to share those findings with my peers as a technology leader in my school.